Hey everyone, it's Jesse here at Jesse Lee Strength and Fitness. I'm kind of continuing today on this activation series. And just to be clear about what I mean by activation, typically activation is that last thing you do prior to your exercise. So I typically would say foam rolling, mobility work, not stretching, but mobility work, meaning some of the other exercises that I've shown with band and some stuff to mobilize your joints to make sure they're ready for the work and for the range of motion that you're going to need. And then as well, we're going to move right into our activation. So we've gotten ourselves moving well. Now we're going to go ahead and make sure that our body is functioning correctly. And that's where I apply some of this dynamic neurostabilization stuff by putting my body in some different positions, forcing my core and forcing my hips and glutes to fire as well as my upper back. So let me go ahead and get started here real quick so I can show you what I'm talking about. I have shown this exercise before, but now I'm going to add an extra feature. I'm going to add a band. Okay, so I've got a band attached to this anchor. It could be tied off to your rack or whatever. And I'm going to drop my right hip into it and I'm going to put it right up into my high groin. Got a pad here for myself. And I'm going to get into this side bridge. Okay, the side bridge is always going to be right fist, right knee, elbow, hip, lining up. And I'm just going to push down through the knee and lift the hip. So now the band is driving me back to the wall. Okay, imagining it's pulling my hip back. So that's going to be a deep squat or a hip hinge right there. Okay, so what I want to do here is going to go ahead, and the first move I want to make is taking this hand and reaching across my body up into this upper corner. This is my left hand. And then my left leg is going to go back behind me. Just going to slowly go into internal rotation, stretch that bottom hip, push, and turn my belly button towards the camera. Turn the belly button towards the floor, lower the hips, stretch. Band is pulling me towards the wall. Push. Stretch. Push. This is pretty darn hard, so make sure you're prepared for what you're after. The next move I'm going to do is just some side hinges. So these are just hip thrusts. My chin and my belly button are doing the same thing. The last thing on this is I'm going to go ahead and get into this kind of side roll. Turn my belly button down, back up, down, back up. At this point, my right hip is absolutely pumped to the max. Okay, so that was the right side. I'm going to go ahead and follow up with the left. I'll just go ahead and show you right quick. Dropping my left hip in, getting into this side bridge position, pretty easy. Fist, knee, elbow, hip, come up into the side bridge, right? The band is pulling me back. Reach my right fist over into the corner, my right heel behind me. Turn my belly button, my body is long, stretching that bottom hip, coming back up. Internal rotation of the hip, pushing and extending. Then I'm going to go into this side hip hinge. And then I'm going to do these little side rolls, keeping a stiff spine. I'm just rolling in that hip socket. Fantastic. Okay, so that's another kind of layer of this activation series, taking that dynamic stabilization and adding in a band to make it a little more intense. Hope that helps.